In Amish kitchens across the countryside, you'll find something remarkable happening every day. Delicious, wholesome meals being prepared from scratch with no electricity, no processed ingredients, and often no modern appliances. And yet, these meals aren't just satisfying, they're stunning in their flavor, variety, and nutrition. How? The secret lies in the ingenious food hacks the Amish have perfected over generations, rooted in necessity, patience, and their deep connection to the land. For the Amish, food is more than fuel. It's an expression of faith, stewardship, and gratitude. Meals are built from what they grow, raise, preserve, or barter, never from what comes packaged in a box. Because of this self-sufficient way of life, the Amish have learned dozens of clever techniques that maximize freshness, minimize waste, and make every bite count. One of the core pillars of Amish food culture is seasonal eating. Instead of relying on refrigeration or store-bought imports, Amish households eat what's in season and preserve the rest. That means knowing exactly when to pick, when to store, and how to transform surplus into shelf-stable goods. Whether it's root vegetables stored in barrels of sand, eggs sealed in lime water, or apples dried above the wood stove, nothing is wasted, and every technique is designed to stretch abundance across the entire year. Another powerful hack is their use of leftovers as ingredients, not afterthoughts. Amish women don't reheat yesterday's dinner. They reinvent it. Leftover mashed potatoes become dough for fried potato cakes. Extra pie crust is turned into sugar-dusted twists. Cold meats are shredded and mixed with pickled relish for homemade spreads. Bread that's gone slightly stale is soaked in milk and turned into hearty breakfast bakes or bread puddings. Every scrap is honored and repurposed with purpose. Even their methods of flavoring are unique. Rather than store-bought seasonings, the Amish grow and dry their own herbs, thyme, sage, dill, mint, and rosemary, hung from ceiling beams or tucked into fabric bags. Many families make their own herb blends and vinegar infusions, adding layers of flavor to soups, meats, and dressings. Garlic is stored braided, onions are dehydrated, and horseradish is dug, grated, and mixed fresh to wake up a winter stew. Flavor, for them, comes from the soil, not the store. Perhaps the most underrated hack of all is their batch cooking strategy. Amish kitchens run like clockwork, often preparing meals in large batches for big families, work crews, or community gatherings. Rather than making a single loaf of bread, they make 10 and freeze or store the extras. Soups are simmered in enormous cast-iron kettles with portions canned or preserved. From preserving techniques and time-saving habits to flavor-boosting tricks and meal-planning secrets, you'll wish you had known these sooner. Brilliant Amish food hacks for everyday life. Amish kitchens are quiet, steady places filled not with buzzing appliances or blinking timers, but with time-honored food hacks that keep everything running smoothly. Whether you live on a farm or in a small apartment, these old-fashioned ideas can save time, cut waste, and deepen your connection to the food you eat. One of the most powerful Amish food hacks is using cold storage layering in barrels. Root vegetables like carrots, turnips, and beets are packed in sawdust, sand, or straw and layered inside wooden barrels kept in a cool place, usually a root cellar or shaded shed. The layers prevent moisture loss and rot, allowing vegetables to stay crisp for months, even deep into winter. No refrigeration, no plastic bags, just Earth's natural insulation at work. Another clever practice is storing eggs in lime water, also known as water glassing. Fresh, unwashed eggs are submerged in a solution of pickling lime and water and stored in a cool place. This preserves them in their raw state for up to a year or more. Amish families use this technique to extend their egg supply through the winter months when hens lay less frequently. When it comes to flavor, few hacks are as potent as the herb-infused vinegar trick. Amish cooks often pack mason jars with fresh herbs like basil, oregano, or dill, then pour over vinegar and let it steep for several weeks. The result is a homemade seasoning that elevates everything from greens to meats to pickles. It's inexpensive, long-lasting, and far more flavorful than store-bought dressings. One of the oldest and most cherished tricks is using potato water for bread baking. The starchy water left over from boiling potatoes is added to bread dough to make it softer and more tender. It adds natural sugars that feed the yeast and creates a richer texture. Every good Amish bread recipe begins not just with flour, but with a leftover. Another brilliant idea is the cloth-wrapped bread rise, where dough is covered with clean, lightly dampened dishcloths or cotton towels and placed in a sunlit window or warm oven to rise. No plastic wrap, no fancy lids, just breathable, reusable fabric that protects the dough and keeps it warm as it rises. And finally, the Amish routinely practice multi-meal planning with one protein. A single roast chicken might be served hot on Sunday, shredded into sandwiches on Monday, turned into pot pie on Tuesday, and boiled into broth by Wednesday. This kind of discipline transforms every ounce of food into something valuable and filling, stretching a single ingredient into days of hearty meals. Drying, fermenting, and bulk storage, hacks you'll want to use. In a world that leans heavily on freezers and packaged foods, the Amish take a different path, one rooted in drying, fermenting, and bulk preservation. These next 10 food hacks come straight from Amish homes, where efficiency, frugality, and practicality shape every food decision. Whether you're a backyard gardener, homesteader, or simply someone who wants to waste less and store more, these tricks can revolutionize the way you handle your kitchen. One of the simplest but most powerful hacks is drying fruit and vegetables using attic heat. Instead of electric dehydrators, Amish families slice apples, peaches, or even tomatoes thin and lay them on screens or sheets inside attic spaces. These upper rooms are naturally warm and airy, especially in summer, and provide the perfect setting to dry food evenly. Once dried, the food is packed in jars or linen bags and used throughout the winter in pies, sauces, and stews. Another timeless method is sun-drying herbs by hanging bundles from ceiling beams. Amish kitchens are often decorated with strings of oregano, basil, thyme, and sage, both beautiful and practical. Hanging herbs upside down in a dry space allows them to retain oils and flavor far better than chopping and freezing. Once dried, they're crumbled by hand and stored in labeled jars or fabric pouches for year-round seasoning. When it comes to gut health and flavor, fermentation is a cornerstone of Amish food preparation. Cabbage is turned into sauerkraut, cucumbers into pickles, and beets into fermented tonics, all in simple ceramic crocks. There's no vinegar involved, just salt, thyme, and a cool, dark corner of the pantry. These fermented foods not only preserve vegetables, but also enhance digestion and boost nutrition naturally. A clever way Amish women manage bulk grains is by using sealed metal barrels or wooden bins lined with fabric. Wheat berries, oats, and cornmeal are bought or harvested in large quantities and stored in mouse-proof containers, sometimes with dried bay leaves or garlic cloves to repel pests. These barrels are tucked into cellars or pantry rooms, maintaining freshness for months or even years without the need for chemicals or refrigeration. One deeply effective food hack is the layered onion and garlic storage trick. Instead of hanging bulbs in nets, Amish households layer them in wooden boxes with straw or newspaper to keep them from sprouting. For dairy preservation, the Amish often rely on the crock butter method. After churning butter, they press it into ceramic crocks, add a layer of salt, and cover it with a muslin cloth and wooden lid. When kept in a cool, dark cellar, butter preserved this way lasts for weeks or even months, ready to be sliced and served with fresh bread. For baking, the Amish love the wood-fired oven preheat trick. After baking bread, pies, or roasts, the residual heat in the wood oven is used to dry fruit, toast oats, or slowly cook beans overnight. No electricity, no rush, just layers of meals made with patience and intention from one source of heat. Amish flavor hacks, meal prepping, and frugal food substitutes. While preservation and storage are crucial to Amish food wisdom, the flavor and simplicity of their meals are just as impressive. Amish cooks don't rely on pre-mixed seasonings, fancy oils, or processed ingredients. Instead, they draw flavor from smart substitutes, homemade infusions, and scratch-built layers of taste, all while minimizing cost and complexity. These next 10 hacks highlight how the Amish achieve depth in meals using what they already have. A beloved hack is the flavored lard technique. After frying bacon or roasting pork, the rendered fat is saved and infused with herbs, onion, or garlic. This seasoned lard is stored in crocks or jars and used as a spread, sauté base, or dough fat for biscuits and pies. It adds richness and umami without needing expensive oils or butter, and lasts for weeks in a cool cellar. Another powerful tool in the Amish kitchen is milk stretching. When cow milk runs low, especially in large families, it's often cut with water and enriched with a spoonful of powdered milk. This mix retains creaminess and nutrition while doubling quantity for baking, cooking, or cereal use. The result is frugality without compromising taste. For seasoning, Amish cooks often make homemade bouillon by boiling down bones, herbs, and scraps into a gelatin-rich stock. This broth is then reduced into a thick paste or powder stored in jars and added to soups, stews, and gravies in small spoonfuls. This eliminates the need for store-bought bouillon cubes, and the homemade version is far healthier and more flavorful. One creative substitute is the potato starch thickener. Instead of buying cornstarch or flour, Amish women boil potatoes and use the starchy water left behind to thicken soups, gravies, or pie fillings. It's a perfect zero-waste method that enhances texture while using something that's already in the kitchen. Another brilliant trick is the fruit scrap sweetener. Instead of tossing apple peels, peach skins, or plum pits, Amish families simmer them into syrups or vinegar, which are then used as sweeteners or marinades. This not only extends fruit value, but adds layers of natural sweetness to everything from pancakes to salad dressings. And finally, one of the oldest flavor tricks is molasses blending. This thick, iron-rich syrup is used to darken and deepen baked goods, replace part of the sugar in bread or cookies, and enrich chili or baked beans. Molasses stores for years, and just a spoonful can elevate any simple meal into something hearty and bold. These flavor-forward food hacks are proof that Amish cooking isn't just frugal, it's deeply thoughtful. Community meals, portable food, and long-term Amish food security hacks. The final set of Amish food hacks reveals the depth of their food culture, not just in how they cook, but how they share, store, and prepare for the future. In Amish life, food is never isolated to one household. It flows through barns, church gatherings, bake sales, and shared kitchens. These last 10 hacks show how food becomes a source of both survival and community, held together by traditions that work even without electricity, refrigeration, or modern tools. A standout hack is the community soup kettle. When several families gather to prepare for weddings, funerals, or barn raisings, large cast-iron kettles are filled with bone broth, garden vegetables, and homemade noodles or dumplings. What starts as a humble soup becomes a full meal that can feed dozens. Each person contributes an ingredient, and the result is both delicious and deeply unifying. Another practical trick is the dry snack bag, which Amish women prepare for long buggy rides or farm work. Made of cloth or waxed paper, these bags contain dried apples, homemade beef jerky, roasted chickpeas, or molasses cookies, foods that won't spoil and require no utensils. These bags are pre-packed and stored in pantry drawers for quick access, proving that portable meals don't require packaging or refrigeration. For long-term planning, Amish households create canning rotations that span multiple years. One shelf might contain jars from this summer's harvest, while another holds fruit, preserves, or meats from 3 years ago. Canned food is labeled by year and flavor and used strategically to ensure nothing is wasted and nutrition is always on hand, even during poor growing seasons or emergencies. And finally, the most profound food hack of all. Every Amish kitchen runs on routine. There is a day for baking, a day for churning butter, a day for butchering, a day for canning, and a day for rest. It's not just a hack, it's a lifestyle that creates calm, abundance, and true independence. In a world obsessed with speed and convenience, the Amish quietly remind us that the best meals come from wisdom, patience, and purpose, not from machines or modern shortcuts.